a few episodes back, I don't know how many, we were talking about content creation and starting a business. And I think we were talking about like your advice for people. And one of the things you said that really stood out to me was you need to have a clear idea from day one, and you know what kind of business you want. And so I want to talk about that because I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah.
And so I think that's pretty difficult.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. That sounds like something I would say that is, I don't know, half
Put
thought
yourself
out.
in a corner. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you have to have that. I think it would be really nice if you did. I don't know. It's interesting. Like there's so many people, I feel like back in the day, like I always thought that like starting a business, like you come up with the business plan and you like have a real, like, I think that the people that are a generation ahead of us think in those terms. Cause when I talk to business holders, my goodness, business owners that are older than me and like maybe in their like mid 40s, like going up into their almost close to 50, like they are very much about like, you need to have a business plan, you have this mapped out, you need to have strategy. And I think a lot of that might have come from starting a business, I don't know,
Having to get a
15,
loan.
20. Yeah. Well,
That's what it came from, having to get a loan.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like the structure or like the risk of starting a business. I mean, most of my friends that are business owners are dealing with equipment and like people and places to store stuff. And like, there's a lot of, it's much more difficult than an online business, at least the way that we do it. And so, yeah, it's like, there's this like focus of like, you've got to have this because there's so much risk that you're taking on from day one. Now, I don't think it's like, I don't think you have to have that to start an online business, but man, having like a kind of a vision does help a whole lot. Like, I mean, even in it change, it can change. I think that's the thing. It's like, I think you should start with something and go like, here's what I kind of want to do. I want my life to look like this. And then if it changes along the way, that's fine. But I think,
Newsflash, it will change along the way.
Like, yeah, totally.
It's going to.
I don't know. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe I painted myself in a corner with that comment. I don't remember the context of it, but I think you need to have some kind of something, some vision as you go forward. Yeah. I don't know. Do you think you do, or do you just start stuff?
I don't know. I think you have to have a general idea of where you're going, but then I think you need to just start going. I think that's the biggest thing is I don't want to say you need to know because I think that's what stops people. Like they think they have to have it all freaking figured out. Like if you're sitting here and you're like, I want to be a YouTuber, then go make some freaking YouTube videos. It doesn't matter what they're about. You don't have to know how to do keyword research. Like, you just got to go out and produce your first 100 videos. The algorithm doesn't even have a freaking clue what you're talking about until you've produced about 30 of them. So like, you just got to go out and take action, I think. But I think it's helpful to know a little bit of a direction. But I just think we live in this cool time where I feel like you can just lean into an obsession. Like I've thought about this a lot as I've started like creating more content. Like you don't worry about your niche or your branding or any of that. Just like lean into your obsession. What's the thing that you're already constantly talking about, constantly reading about, constantly listening to, constantly, I don't know if I said talking about, like, yeah. So, I mean, like if you're just like really into football, like just talk about football, like talk about your team, people make a living talking about their favorite college sports team, their favorite pro sports team, people make a living talking about their favorite book genre and making book recommendations and reviews and stuff. Like whatever you're into, just lean into that. Like how, I think it goes to one of those things that, is it Gary Vee that says this? I don't know. Like
he says a lot of stuff.
It is. That concept of like, you don't have to be a 7-figure business owner. Like you can go, like you can be an 80K a year.
Yeah, he says that. This is like if you're happy running like an $80,000 a year sports blog, like you're winning that thing.
Yeah, and I'm totally agree with that. It depends on how you're wired though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I make enough that I don't need to like keep pushing it, and you do too, but like I want to. So
yeah. It's a curse. It's
It
like
is. It is. It is a little bit.